There are different reasons for expats to choose Barcelona as a destination. The first one, probably the most obvious thing, is the Mediterranean lifestyle. We have a beach on the Mediterranean Sea that is not something so easy to find. The food, the kind of food is attractive also for expats, and we have a very good weather all year around with moderated temperatures either both in winter and summer. The city and the region has a lot of culture and tradition, so coming here is to you are coming to live in a historical city. This was a city that started with the Romans, so more than 2,000 years of stories to tell. So you find really nice corners everywhere and things to see. It's also a quite cosmopolitan city, particularly in Spain. Probably not the most cosmopolitan city in Europe, but in terms of Spain, it's quite cosmopolitan, and this gives a special touch. We are very well connected, good airport. Think that this is a medium-sized city. This is good because you really feel you live in the city, not in a village. But at the same time, it's not a huge urban city with all the problems that this kind of things implies. So the airport, for example, is close to the city. We are close to France, and we have direct connection with high-speed train, for example. So this is another advantage to choose Barcelona as a place to live. The city itself has a really good public transport system, very good schools, and very special places around the city. Within 1 hour and a half, you have not just this seaside that you can see from the city, but also different kind of beaches. You have the Costa Brava, that is amazing, and you have the mountains. You can do whatever you want. And if you want to drive a little bit more, you can ski 1 hour and a half from here up to 2 hours. Andorra is 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. So in autumn, you can both ski during the day, and at the afternoon, you drive back to Barcelona and swimming on the seaside. So this is great. So I think all these reasons are the perfect mixture for expats. Here, the weather maybe is one of the most important things. Spain is famous for the sun all over Spain, but maybe not the very north on the Cantabric, but the rest is really sunny. But it could be really cold in winter and very hot in summer. Here we have the sea that moderates temperatures, so we have a nicest weather. Also because it's famous for to be international, cosmopolitan, innovative, and dynamic. So I would say it's maybe a more European city, and this attracts a lot of expats to choose it when they decide to come to Spain. Yes, definitely. Again, Barcelona is a city that you walk for 10 minutes, the landscape changes dramatically in some cases. So there are different cities within the city. I would say the most popular areas are probably the old city, even though it's the most touristic area. Many expats, singles normally, or couples with no kids. Some of them they choose it because even though they have a lot of tourists during the day and evenings, they are really special. They are Gothic neighborhoods. That is not so easy to find a place to live in a Gothic city. So this is one of the selected places. And the Champly is the famous area of Barcelona with the straight streets, wide streets with very big corners where the streets crosses. Also, you come with family, you usually choose, for example, or other neighborhoods closer to the mountain, like Sarriá, San Gervasi. And there are two other neighborhoods, I would say, that are mostly preferred by expats. One is Gracia is a really particular space because it keeps the flavor of Catalonia. Gracia used to be a separate neighborhood centuries ago, and it's still like in the past. So you find a lot of locals living there. There are no big shops, not big shopping malls, small shops, design shops. A very nice corner of the city. And the last one I would say is Poblenou. Poblenou used to be an industrial area close to the sea, and it has been transforming for the last 10 years, and many IT companies are located there. And there is a particular space, Poblenou, called @22, where the main IT companies from Oracle, Google, they have their offices there. So this is also a nice place to live. Very difficult to find flat there, but even though it's demanded, I would say. It's challenging. The Barcelona property market, the rental property market, has been stressed by tourism on one side and the number of people coming to live here. So it's challenging, I would say. It's not impossible. It's not so expensive. Probably most expensive city with Madrid in Spain. That is not that expensive, but it's challenging in terms of finding the right place. And you need to, if you come here, you have to think that maybe you don't need to find the place of your dreams from the very beginning. You can leave your lease after 6 months or 1 year, and maybe take your time to find a place. Normally, expats arrive in Barcelona and they are in a rush to find a place because you are in a temporary flat. So my recommendation, I would say, is don't get stressed, and you have to decide quickly. If you find a nice place, take it. Don't doubt. Prices, to give you an idea of a two-bedroom apartment in the city center, can be around 1,400 to up to 2,000, more or less. Prices are high for Spain, but particularly for if you want to purchase something here, if you compare to other European cities, it's not so high. The prices are not so expensive, and the market is not so challenging as the rental one. For expats, it's quite easy. If you live here, you have a tax number. If you want to buy for the very beginning, before you establish, you need to get your tax number anyway to buy something. So you are in the same conditions, as more or less the same conditions as a local. The only thing is there is a new law coming that will include a new tax for non-resident from outside the EU. But for if you reside here, if you live here, there is no problem. Prices is as everywhere. Depends a lot of the conditions and the amenities, location. But I would say that you must think for a two-bedroom apartment, between 300,000 up to 500, more or less. The immigration law in Spain contemplates different kinds of visas. So depending on the type of visa you are applying for, for example, the non-lucrative visa is a kind of visa you specially sign for. You want to retire here. You have enough resources to live here without working. It should be initiated in your local consulate, and you cannot be here to start it. Other visas, like the digital nomad visa, that is designed for people who can work, but you must be working for companies or clients outside Spain. This kind of visa can be either start with your consulate or local. You come with a tourism visa, and you can start it from here. And other visas, the same, depending on the type of visa. Here in Spain, not just in Barcelona, but this applies for the whole country. We have a public health care system that I would say is quite good, better than many other countries. Probably not the best, but a good one. And you have, of course, the private health insurance. You only need to pay for it. That is not particularly expensive, and it's really extensive. And you can get most, I would say, 80% of the doctors and services are included in any of the normal first-year plans. And on the public side, in order to get public assistance, you are supposed to contribute to the social system. To do that is you do it through paying taxes, through your contributions, through your payslip, working for a company, or as an independent professional, you pay monthly your contribution to the social security. This contribution gives you the right to access to the public health system for you and for your direct family. It's true that particularly in Barcelona and Catalonia, they are really generous, I would say, and many people that they are not contributing to the social security, for example, people that they cannot because they are here with a non-lucrative visa, for example, that they are not allowed to work, they receive the health card anyway. Or people that you lost your job, you will be covered anyway. So it's really flexible, I would say. Here there are three systems. The public, for British, could be confusing, but public is state-owned schools, semi-private, locally known as concertadas, that are usually private schools run, sometimes are religious schools, Catholic schools, that they receive partial support from state. The fully private schools, many of them are international schools. Public school is open to everybody. There's a procedure you have to apply, depending on the area you live, etc., etc. Semi-private and private schools, they are not so bureaucratic in terms of the applications. If you are thinking that normally expats do is to send their kids to an international school, you must think of tuition between 10K up to 20K per year. There are some exceptions that are above that number, like the American school, and there are some exceptions like the German school that they receive some money from, they used to receive, I don't know if they will continue doing, but from the German government, so they are less expensive than the ordinary international schools. The most important thing here in Barcelona, I would say, is to secure housing as soon as possible. Once you have a place, even if it's not the place for the rest of your life, or not even for several years, but at least for the first year, you can start building around this the rest of your structure. I would say open a local bank account, even though if you come from another country, from Europe, particularly from the EU, it's very easy to continue living here without a local bank account, but I recommend it because there are some limitations. And for example, if you have to pay taxes, you need to do it from a local bank account. So that's another good idea. Get a local phone SIM card. That sounds silly, but yeah, we have the European roaming, so any phone works perfectly well here. But there are different services, bureaucratic services that you receive from the bank's security systems, that you need to receive an SMS to verify your identity, and some of them does not work on foreign numbers. Particularly in Barcelona and Spain, be patient with bureaucracy. Probably it's not the worst country, but it's for sure worse than another ones in Europe mainly. So be prepared, but nothing is so bad that it could be annoying sometimes. Learn some Spanish or Catalan if you prefer, but Spanish, I would say, is you will use it more if you travel around Spain, and all Catalans, they are totally bilingual, and particularly coming from expat, they are happy to talk in Spanish as well. Again, with the stress, don't expect to finish everything in the first week. It will take some weeks, I would say a couple of months the most. And look for help because there are some stuff, particularly housing and paperwork, that is actually it's not so complicated, but you are coming from abroad, especially if you don't speak the language, it could be Mount Everest. So with a little bit of help, this could be much, much easier. ask for help, professional help, because it's not so expensive and it will save you a lot of headache. I have several examples of people coming here. It's not just finding the help, but proper help. I mean, I have been helping several corporate transferees that they contact me because the supposed professional company helping them were not doing their job correctly, and they were even more stressed than without help. So you need to find help and try to find professional help and people that they are close to, will be close to your needs, not just delivering thousands of services to different clients and not being dedicated to your needs.